When you do what you hate first enough times, it starts to become natural.
The only thing missing in your life is momentum.
Schedule. It's not a bloody prison.
Rise and shine, it's Entspresso time.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something more inside you too. You have Michael Jordan level talent at something. So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee and sip on today's message from Marisa Peer. Also, if you want to have more confidence, check out my 254 series. They're free. The link to join are in the description below.
Successful people do what they hate to get to where they want to be. It doesn't matter how talented you are, if you don't have self-belief, you're not going to get anywhere. For very successful people, if they have to fire someone, if they have to make a very uncomfortable phone call, they will do it first. And what's interesting is that they naturally do that. They would say things like, well, you know, I've got to end a partnership with my best friend, or I've got to fire someone I really care about. I couldn't possibly have that hanging over my head all day. I need to do it first, and then it's done, and then I feel better. People who are not in that group will go, oh God, I've got to fire like my friend. I'll do that at 6 o'clock. I'll wait till the end. I'll do that after lunch. Or I've got to go and do a grueling workout. I'll do that at 5 o'clock. But of course, 5 o'clock comes and you have a phone call to make, or you've just had lunch, and then you don't get to do it. Even in school, I mean, one of my clients who was very successful said, yeah, when we had to, read out an essay, I never understood the kids who went last. I put my hand up and went, I'll read the essay first because I want it done. So they do it naturally, but that doesn't matter because, of course, the wonderful thing is that when you do what you hate first enough times, it starts to become natural. Like, I've got to do my taxes, I'll do that first thing. I've got to confront someone, I'll do it first. And so I still, to this day, wake up and think, oh, I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to do it first, because what I do want is to belong to that group of very, very successful people. So I know what the membership is. And every time I don't want to do something, I think, I don't want to do it, but what I do want is to belong to that group, so I'm doing it first. And it's a great way of thinking, because it starts to move you around wanting to do it for all the right reasons.
The only thing missing in your life is momentum. You're a genius. You've got great ideas. You are the Michael Jordan of something. The only thing that is stopping you is your ability to do difficult things and start building momentum. I think for so many people, it's not just doing the thing that scares you first thing in the morning, it's doing it at all. Most people just don't do it at all. You've got a great idea. You know it can work, but you're afraid of judgment. You don't know where to start. You're afraid of it being not perfect and people telling you that you suck and you failing publicly. You're afraid of all that stuff, and so you don't do anything. You got your foot on the gas and brake at the same time, knowing that you're capable of more, knowing that you have greatness in here, but then being too afraid to go off and execute it. And so I think not just starting your day with the thing that scares you, just moving, doing something, anything, just getting started on your crazy idea. It's not that you're leaving it to the afternoon, it's that most people aren't doing it at all. So I was on a call with an entrepreneur friend of mine yesterday, and she was upset, she was frustrated. She had decided mid last year, right? June, July last year, that she needed to let somebody go on her team. This person was being toxic in their environment, was still producing results for the company, but just being a big drag on the company, on the culture, and on herself as trying to lead this team of people. And so she decided, I gotta let this person go. It's 6-7 months later now, and she still hasn't done it. She still hasn't done it because she's afraid of maybe not finding the right person to replace, the impact of having to go through training and hiring all over again. And she just hasn't made the decision. The biggest problem is she has not decided. And so I said, when is this gonna matter to you? You decided, right, last year, 6, 7, 8 months ago, and you still haven't done the thing. And she said, well, if it gets to a year and I still haven't done it, then I have to go off and do it. And this is where your standards come into place. How long after you've made a decision do you actually start to do something about it? In her case, her standards were a year, in that she decided, but then a year later, that's when it's too much. That's when it's gone too far. That if she hasn't done it in a year, now it's too much. I want you to shorten that gap. teach yourself that as soon as you decide, you do something, you act, you put the plan into motion, because you don't have that many years left. I look at her, you know, she's not old yet, she's not midlife yet, but you don't have that many years left. And this isn't even that big a decision. Whatever is in front of you is not actually that big a decision. There are much bigger decisions ahead. It may feel like a big decision. It may feel like it. But after you've done it and you get through it, you realize, I could do that again. And there's another bigger decision ahead. You need to shorten the gap between deciding that you want to do something and actually taking action towards it. I'm going to give you a 3-step process that I think will help. Step 1 is identify, what do you need to do that scares you? What do you need to do? You have ambitions, you have goals, you have dreams, you know you want to accomplish something big, right? You know you're capable of more. What do you want to do that scares you? If you have big dreams, it needs to come with a healthy dose of fear. If you're not afraid of what you want to do, it's not big enough. If you wake up and just do the things that you know how to do and what to do, you actually hate your life. You're just waking up and doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. You want to do something bigger, and that's scary. So what is it? What is the most important thing that you need to do right now in your business or your life that scares you? Number 2, identify what is the BS out that you keep giving yourself. You're giving yourself an out. You're letting yourself off the hook. You're telling yourself, I'll do it after X. I'll do it when this. You keep giving yourself a reason why not to do it today. What is the BS reason? It's not total BS. There's some logic in it because you're a smart person. You wouldn't come up with some really stupid reason why you can't do it. You're giving yourself a really smart reason why you can't do it yet, right? It's scary. It's not because you're afraid, of course not. It's because of this very logical thing. And once I get through this, then I can do it. But then once you get through that thing, there's something new in the way, right? And you keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. So identify, what is the BS out, the BS excuse, the BS reason that you are giving yourself for not pulling the trigger today? And then step number 3 is, how will you build momentum for it today? Today matters. Today, you wrote it down. Teach yourself. The fact that you wrote it down, the fact that you're thinking about it means you have to do something about it. You are not allowed, no more, not anymore. You are not allowed to think of something that scares you that you want to do. You want to do it and it scares you. You are not allowed to put it off anymore. You are not allowed to then sit and say, well, I'll do it later. You may not be able to fully do it right now, but some small step, an email, research, a phone call, something, some small step right now, immediately to say, I'm going to build momentum towards this. That's what you want to teach yourself. That's one of the greatest gifts that you can ever teach yourself, is that as soon as you come up with an idea that you are a genius, that you are Michael Jordan, that you are capable, that you will figure it out, and that it's scary. And that's amazing because you do scary things. Identify the BS reasons why you're not actually doing it, and then today, immediately build some kind of momentum towards it. Now I have a really special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy, but before that, question of the day, I want to know, what is the BS excuse that you keep giving yourself, that you keep letting yourself off the hook with? Let me know, put it down in the comments below. And if you made it this far in the video, I want to celebrate you. Give me a hashtag believe down below as well.
Okay, so what's the rule with the schedule? It's not a bloody prison. That's the first thing that people do wrong. They say, well, I don't like to follow a schedule. It's like, well, what kind of schedule are you setting up? Well, I have to do this, then I have to do this, then I have to do this, you know, and then I just go play video games, because who wants to do all these things that I have to do? It's like, wrong. Set the damn schedule up so that you have the day you want. That's the trick. It's like, okay, I've got tomorrow. If I was going to set it up so it was the best possible day I could have, practically speaking, what would it look like? Well, then you schedule that. And obviously, there's a bit of responsibility that's going to go along with that, because if you have any sense, one of the things that you're going to insist upon is that at the end of the day, you're not in worse shape than you were than at the beginning of the day, right? Because that's a stupid day. If you have a bunch of those in a row, you just dig yourself a hole and then you bury yourself in it. It's like, sorry, that's just not a good strategy. It's a bad strategy. So maybe 20% of your day has to be responsibility and obligation, or maybe it's more than that, depending on how far behind you are. But even that, you can ask yourself, okay, well, I've got these responsibilities. I have to schedule the damn things in. What's the right ratio of responsibility to reward? And you can ask yourself that, just like you'd negotiate with someone who is working for you. It's like, okay, you got to work tomorrow. Okay, so I want you to work tomorrow. And you might say, okay, well, what are you going to do for me that makes it likely that I'll work for you? Well, you could ask yourself that, you know. So maybe you do an hour of responsibility and then you play a video game for 15 minutes. I don't know, whatever turns your crank, man. But, you know, you have to negotiate with yourself and not tyrannize yourself. Like you're negotiating with someone that you care for, that you would like to be productive and have a good life. And that's how you make the schedule. It's like, and then you look at the day and you think, well, if I had that day, that'd be good. Great. You know, and you're useless and horrible, so you'll probably only hit it with about 70% accuracy, but that beats the hell out of 0, right? And if you hit it even with 50% accuracy, another rule is, well, aim for 51% the next week, or 50.5% for God's sake, or because you're going to hit that position where things start to loop back positively and spiral you upward. And so that's one way that you can work on your conscientiousness.
If you want Marisa Peer's take on how to stop judging yourself, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
So the thing you need to have phenomenal confidence really are two things.